How much trouble do you think we would get in if I just left the Steam game as Marvel Snap and we just farmed drops while playing Summer with the Shiba Inu? And we just titled the stream something like Don't Tell Disney. Farming drops, please don't snitch. Ooh, sorry guys, I forgot. I forgot to change the stream game after we finished Marvel Snap. Happens to me all the time. Check my track record with 3 games, 3 hours. Welcome back to Summer with the Shiba Inu. If you're watching this on YouTube, this is either a second video or it's still the same video. That's right, I still haven't uploaded part 1 at the time of streaming this, because I don't know how much time is left in the game. Okay, last time. Is this like, are we in the... No, we already had the flashback. Shoot! Locking any rail alternative, I walk towards aimlessly. The foliage is soft against my paw pads. So last time we had the look at this face. Last time we had the flashback of when they were in the dog Hunger Games. And Dracula Dog betrayed him. But, Max betrayed the others and joined him. Did I get a new follower during the Marvel Snap segment? No, it was yesterday. I was about to say, if someone just followed me during the Marvel Snap segment, they're about to have tonal whiplash. Thinking, it would make sense that Hyphen is I just realized her name is Hyphen. The Hee-Haw games? Hyphen is somewhere in this A arena as well, since she was the one that re-challenged me. Alright, she's like, if you don't fight me back in the arena, we're gonna dox you or something. You're gonna get canceled on Twitter.com. But are any of the other contestants? I barely remember any of their voices, by the way. Sometime later. This has been weeks since part 1. If you're watching this as one video on YouTube, I'm so sorry. It's been actual weeks between segments. I scanned my surroundings. I had made my way to higher ground so I could figure out where I am in the A arena. I can see a stream flowing through the forest. I recall that Max's camp was downstream, while my camp was upstream. Gamer bathed him in a Marvel Snap, then locks the door behind him and plays Summer with the Shiba Inu. Please use that joke for Digimon Survive and not Shiba Inu, a game that's actually been perfectly fine and innocent. Summer Reading's dead, by the way, and you all killed it. This is both the first and last stream of Summer of Reading. If only I could see more of the stream. Me, when I want Summer of Reading. The trees are blocking where it flows beyond a certain point. It's hard to recognize specific parts of the forest. Everything is like a blur of green. But it's okay. It won't matter whether I reach my camp or Max's camp first. Whatever the A arena wants of me, I'm sure I can deal with it. Plus, I'm much more experienced now. Giving myself pep talks, I carry on. My heart rate doesn't seem to be slowing down despite my efforts to cheer myself up. 1 sleep later. Dude, Skinamarink style. Year 224, A Arena 9, Day 2. Oh, like this was like a time skip, I think? This isn't like present day? I don't remember anymore, to be honest with you. I'm startled awake, ears twitching in every direction to listen. It's Dunks eating crunchies. Maybe just the wind? My nerves have not calmed, despite my best efforts. I don't know how I was so good at the arenas. Clearly I am out of practice. The more nervous you are, and the more you care, the worse you do. Something collides into me from the side. I'm thrown into the air, flying in an arc almost in slow motion. From the corner of my eye, I see Olin? I steady myself, eyeing Olin warily, afraid she'll attack me again. But Olin ignores me and scrambles away. Then from the trees burst 2 dogs, one after another. They go straight for Olin, who barks and races off. But the pursuers are faster and pounce clean on her. Spear. No, yeah, she won the first A arena, got like a feather of power. I just can't remember if this is present day or another one in between. Reality. I try to slink away, but can't help looking at Olin dissolving. She's gone, and I need to get out of here. The attackers glance in my direction and I flinch. Oh no, isn't that G-Paul and Jinai? G-Paul stares at me for a split second more, as if wanting to say something. Then, he slides off. Jinai follows suit. What is going on? Instead of heading straight in the direction of the stream near my faction's base camp, I take a detour. Big cough from Dunks. Oh my goodness. Since G-Paul had been heading in that direction as well, he could set up an ambush. It'll take me longer to get to the base camp due to this detour, but I don't want to risk facing and fighting G-Pi right now. It's been nagging away at me for a while now. How exactly does this arena work? As I can see, dogs are still to be eliminated, as I saw G-Pi do to Olin. But was that a reenactment of the past, or what? In Arena 9, Olin was in my faction and was eliminated when she was tracking down Max's faction. That much I know. But I wasn't there to see it, so I don't know if that's exactly what happened. I didn't even know exactly which day she was eliminated, because we only became certain after several days had passed and she hadn't returned. I remember thinking she might have been the one that leaked our hideout location. G-Pi could have gotten that information. Time loop, time loop, time loop. Regardless of what they did in the past, and if what I saw just now was the same as the past. The fact that those two dogs are here. Could that mean the real G-Pi and Olin are in this re-challenge too? Okay, this is definitely... Okay, present day. Island Year 224, Arena 9, Day 3. It's strange that I haven't seen other dogs since then. If dogs like G-Pi and Olin are participating in this Arena re-challenge, then maybe it's dogs that opt in that are here. That would explain why I haven't seen any other dogs. Ha! Or maybe they're already eliminated, winks at camera. But since I haven't done any eliminating, who else could have eliminated so many dogs? Not High Finn, that's for sure. Ha ha! Seinfeld theme. The landscape turns more familiar as I near the stream I had seen during the first day. I had patrolled this area many times before. This was the outskirts of my faction's patrol route. Their paw patrol route. Stop looking at me. Muscle memory guides me as I make my way uphill. I pet the Dunks. I give him pets. I love him. Boop. It gets more and more difficult to suppress the memories of what had happened in Arena 9. I want to turn tail and run, but self-preservation keeps me from doing anything rash. I want to get this arena over with. To think I believed I had left my arena days in the past for good. After that disaster with High Finn and Fawn Shu backstabbing me, I found Jinai and G-Pi a couple days later. I eliminated them, and it felt so good. The devil laughs when my dark side wins. No, Sid, stop that. I might have enjoyed the thrill of the competition at the time, but I have changed. I left and I went to Caninda. I've become a kinder dog. I wonder how High Finn was eliminated back then. It was either Jinai or G-Pi that did it before Max and I found them. And it couldn't have been Fawn Shu because... Never mind. Well, because he's dead. I wonder if it had been me and High Finn left. Could I have dealt her the final blow? How would I have reacted emotionally if I had to face her one-on-one? Wrong as it sounds, I'm secretly grateful that Jinai and G-Pi saved me the trouble of dealing with High Finn again. I near the cave, slowing my pace to a crawl as I try not to make any sound. There it is. The cave entrance, so familiar to me, yet so eerie to see again. I have a strange urge to go inside, as if it were a museum that stored my memories in a pristine state before everything went to pieces. But I shake my head, tearing my eyes away. I circle around to the side to find a hiding place, listening carefully in case anyone comes. I should be careful. I really don't think a re-challenge is supposed to make contestants friendlier towards me than the first time around. Several hours later, I shift around in my hiding place. It's been quiet since I started camping out. I guess if there's no activity by tomorrow, I'll just go inside the cave. Year 224, Arena 9, Day 4. I jolt upright. What? I fell asleep? Spit it out, Fan Shu. Oh! Fan Shu? I poke my head out as much as I can. It is him. I swipe at him. Red erupts. It's all a simulation anyway. It's fake. A lifeless body taken away on a stretcher. Dogs muttering as we exit the ARI simulator center.
She's a killer. She'll kill you in the arenas. Better not be in the same bracket as her. And did you hear? She has a white dog. One of the contestants in that Arena 9 says she saw it. Shh, don't want to get killed.
You fell. It's Fan Shu. Moving, talking. How is he here? What is this? Could he still be alive? Or can the dead participate in AR arenas? Tell me now, you hear? I try to get a closer look at who Fan Shu is talking to, but they are shrouded by the foliage of the cave entrance. No. No! It's all I can do to stop myself from screaming. Is it her? Yeah, dogism. The larger dog swipes Fan Shu and Fan Shu falls, yelping. Fan Shu shields his side from me as I try to offer him the healing solution that Hyphen rejected. Your faction has been nothing but trouble. Why should I believe you?
I'm serious. She's right here.
She eliminated Finwan. I'm sure of it.
No, you're wrong. Hyphen and I did that.
Oh. Wait, what? I did eliminate that dog, Finwan, in the past. But I didn't eliminate any dogs this time. Alright then. Though I swear it was Sid.
I know what you mean. I thought Sid was our faction. But Hyphen says it's just my mind playing tricks.
I think that was the Fan Shu voice.
And for some reason, I heard about her raiding your faction for medical supplies. But she's not working with us.
Hello, Dunker. Come on up. We do have some supplies that are valuable, but I don't recall anyone trying to steal them. But since you know about those supplies, you're not convincing me that Sid's not working with you. The dog stomps and Fan Shu flinches.
There's something weird about Sid. I keep thinking I've seen her when I haven't. I'm telling the truth. She hasn't been here.
Like a ghost. Oh my god, they sent Sid back in time to this AR arena and everyone sees her and they're like, oh my god, a ghost, Dunks. Oh my gosh, a ghost. Oh my god, haunted. Ooh. Now that you mention it, I do recall seeing her some days ago, but I must have been imagining it too. That would mean she was in two places at once. Doesn't make sense. You're right. Fine then. Then why did you make me come all this way to tell me?
I propose that we team up.
Big yawn from Dunks. Haha, are you kidding me? Where we're going, we don't need pause. This would have been a good time for me to have Dunk Cam still set up because he's just snuggled up to me right now. The dog that Fan Shu is talking to kicks him. Fan Shu whines and the other dog moves, and I can finally see it. That's Jinai!
Seriously, we want to find Sid and eliminate her.
Whether Fan Shu is alive or dead, I still need to make sure I survive this. And why do we need to team up for that? You smell?
You've heard of how she's ranked in the past, no? Well, I know she's a threat, but so am I.
Oh, sorry, that's Zenai. The colors threw me off. Well, I know she's a threat, but so am I.
I don't disagree, but Hyphen said she knew Sid before the Say Arena.
My dog is in Christ. You knew he betrayed him. Never mind. I think he's viewing the past, like he's seeing the how things happened. But yeah, Sid's like also dumb.
Sid's gotten the top spot in every single A arena she's ever been in.
I didn't know that. Well, if Hyphen is so worried about Sid, why doesn't she go find Sid herself?
Like I said, Sid's too dangerous. But here's our proposal. Sid is a white dot and Hyphen will be the bait.
Ha ha ha! Now, that makes a lot of sense. I shrink instinctively, my face burning red with embarrassment. even though I don't think they can see me. Why won't they just let me live?
Hi, Finn will be back soon, and we'll discuss the details if you stick around.
And let myself be in a 2 versus 1 situation. No thanks.
Fine, I'll tell you the plan, and you get your faction to follow it. You and your faction come here tomorrow at noon. The entrance to our cave's here. Wait for Sid to show up, and then pretend to capture me and Hi Finn.
Alright, it's a deal. You deal. She rises and heads off downhill. Fanshu pushes aside the brambles hiding the cave and disappears within. What a load of trouble. Sometime later, I'm still camping in the same spot when I hear some steps approaching from the stone path. It's her. I watch as she disappears into the cave. Are they going to set up the ambush? It's an ambush that I remember very clearly from the past Arena 9. I fell for it, collar, leash, and clasp. I don't know what they're thinking though. I definitely wouldn't fall for it this time around. I actually thought she realized it for a second there, until that line. Feeling shilly, but having no better course of action, I continue to camp outside. Is Max the only male doggy in this whole visual novel? Fanshu, I'm pretty sure, is male. Those two might be it. Sometime later. Around midday, the 2 dogs emerge. Hi Finn, looking agitated, paces around the clearing. Fanshu stands near the cave exit, eating something. Ooh! Everything is in place, but where on earth is Zed?
Don't worry, once we have the other faction's help, we can find her.
They said she? Oopsie poopsie. Oh, right. Hyphen whips around and glares at Fanshu. Fanshu, forget that deal. When Jinai's faction comes here, we are going to eliminate them. He's eating crisps, bro. He's all...
Just yesterday,
The plans changed, Fanshu. Her expression softens as she approaches him. I'm sorry. It's been so long since I've seen you. Why am I speaking like this to you? She shakes her head. Bro found some Cheetos. When Jinai and company arrive, we are going to catch and eliminate them.
wait, we very still. Are we gonna be okay?
Hyphen touches Fanshu's face with a paw. Look, Fanshu, I am no longer the same Zog you know. I'll take care of it. Sometime later. You've been outside this cave for like 3 days, bro. Muffled voices catch my attention, and as they grow louder, I am not surprised to recognize them as belonging to Jinai, Jipai, and Moachi. Sid could hear Sanger whisper, but not Fanshu. He was crunching too loud. It's like when you're watching a movie eating chips and you gotta turn subtitles on because you can't hear over the sound of your chips. Instinctively, I tense and scan for places to run. Wait, relax. Just wait. Sure, there are safer places for me to be right now, but I need to stay put to see what happens. The trio approaches the cave from the stone steps, like how I had witnessed in the past. They prod around the entrance and lift away the foliage hiding it. What do I do now? It all goes according to High Finch Kaikaku. Translator's notes, Kaikaku means plan. Then those 3 will be eliminated. And then what? High Finch trying to find me. That I heard from Fanshu and Jinai's conversation. So should I bother sticking around to see what happens? Right now, all those 5 dogs are occupied. It's my opportunity to set up an ambush. Fittingly, a good location to do that would be the forest clearing where I first eliminated Fanshu. Oh, shit. An actual decision? I think I'm gonna go follow the enemies to observe their actions. Well, so here's the thing, right? Are we learning from the past? Because it's clearly like a time loop. It's clearly like a recreation of the past. Is there also... by their wording, it makes me think there's another Sid here. If we go and observe their actions, we're gonna get stuck in the time... We're gonna be in the time loop. Sid's gonna realize this is like a recreation of the past. Because things are gonna play out the same. Ideally to the other Sid. But, alternatively, it could just be us getting stuck in the trap again. I think we head to the forest to set up an ambush. I think we break the past. I assumed we can interact with the past. Yeah, but here's the thing. Because if I remember correctly, Sid, like, walks into the cave to follow them. Because Sid sees them breaking in. Because they do it, like, confidently. Sid sneaks in, sees the other two tied up, and immediately the other ones are like, Sid, we know you're there. So if we do that again, aren't they going to just immediately be like, Sid, we know you're there? Alright, if chat says we should follow the enemies inside to observe their actions, we'll do it. If you want to get so upset at the idea of setting up the ambush, you make the decision then, chat. Here, it's in your hands. Oh, what's that? Now that Chad's in, now that it's on Chad's court, they say, oh, now hold up a minute. Oh, maybe you should go set up the ambush. That's what I fucking thought. I softly move from the hiding spot to the stone steps, keeping an eye on the cave entrance in case anyone comes out. First, I'm going to leave a fake trail. I trample some of the foliage and leave some paw prints, purposely directed downhill. Now I've got to get to the forest with enough time to set up an ambush. Frosty, I need you to understand, I don't know if both of you are, you're at like a full-on like 40 to 45 second delay. When I said, Frosty, I need you to understand, that's when you cashing in the super override popped up. To give you an idea of like how big of a delay you are at. It's okay though, Frosty. Your super override won't go to waste. You will get to have the sole decision making of the next choice we are given. Once I've made it far enough, I start jumping down the steps 2 by 2. At the foot of the hill, I leave some more paw prints heading further into the forest. I now double back, making sure to tread lightly and hide on a small bank overlooking the path. You know what they say, as long as you're crouching, the enemy will never hear you, never see you. Just press C. If they don't come by after a while, I have to go back up to the cave to see what happened. It would be great if they all eliminated each other. That would save me so much trouble. Boop-a-doo-ba-doo-boop-a-doo. Some moments later. We lost him! Hyphen and Fanshu poke around near one of the fake tracks I had left, a distance off. Wait, lost him? I perk my ears, trying to listen in.
At least we got the other two.
Yes, but how could he have suddenly gained so much on us? Oh, probably Max, whatever his name is, Mochi or whatever. Hyphen looks around, quickly jogging to follow more of my fake paw prints. Keep going, just a bit further. They are almost below where I am hiding. If they go a bit further, then I can catch them unawares from behind. The two of them continue down the path, and I prepare myself to follow them. Hyphen starts running back, right up the bank towards me. What to do? Alright, Frosty, you cashed in your super override. You get to choose. Stay put or run. This entire decision lies on Frosty's shoulders. I should be hitting, some saves during big decisions. Sid's head turn always sends me. Frosty has chosen stay put. She doesn't know I'm here. Maybe Shunkin caught her eye. She'll turn back any time now. I'm sorry, I hit the wrong button. It's too late. She's too close. With no other choice, I leap up and run down the bank. On the force pass, Hyphen and Fanshu corner me. Hey, Fanshu, aren't we on the same faction? You're not following the plan.
Yeah, we are on the same faction, but...
How dare you! Hyphen lunges at me. You're a monster! No, what are you talking about? He's not even real. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Gotcha! I really remember Max's voice for a second. Max, or Moachi, as she was called at the time, jumps on Hyphen. I pounce on Fanshu while Hyphen is distracted. The illusion of free will. Since I already know where Fanshu has a wound on his side, I immediately swipe at it, giving the swing all I've got. He falls immediately, howling. Haha! Hyphen strikes Moichi. Max! Sorry I couldn't save you this time around, old friend. No, if he dies in the past, he dies for real. But I don't think you're real here. Hyphen turns, starting when she sees Fanshu in pain. I don't make a move to eliminate Fanshu while he's down, instead standing still and facing Hyphen. Look, I didn't mean to kill him. In the past. What's the point of telling me this all these years after? You can change the fact that you killed him. I like to think AI Fanshu is just like, what's going on? What are you guys talking about? I'm not denying that.
Hey, you guys! Hey, who'd you kill, man? What are you guys talking about?
Hyphen and I both ignore him. Piece of shit. I am not naive enough to think that if you don't kill him now, that he'd be alive again. Fucking AI. Stupid fucking AI piece of shit. Start stomping on him. Who knows? Maybe the Feather can revive dead dogs. I haven't tried. But to be honest with myself, I doubt it. I would've. You're just a little fucked up. You didn't even try. But I told you that if you lose this arena, the Feather goes to me, remember? Imagine talking to someone that just goes, shut up, you AI. Shut up, literal NPC. My doggies in Christ. I love the plot. Why don't you eliminate him now? I need to have every edge over Hyphen, plus sparing him now isn't going to undo his death. I'm afraid that I'll accidentally kill him again, to be honest. The correct answer? The funny answer. It's really the to be honest. That's like the funny, that makes this a very funny answer. Well, if I'm being completely honest with you, I'm not 100% sure we aren't in the past right now. But this is like... It's tough. I lost the plot last stream. Yeah, honestly, fuck it. We're going in. I won't. I'm afraid I'll accidentally kill him again, to be honest. I stand still, making no move to back my statement. So you didn't just kill him in cold blood. I thought that was obvious. I've baited you all. I actually picked the correct answer. I suppose you've held a grudge about it for all these years. I take her silence as a yes. Haha, so very you. So very me. You wouldn't know. Hyphen's voice lacks the bitterness I was expecting. She makes a sudden movement. I instinctively flatten my body on alert. But to my surprise, she steps up to Fanshu's fallen form with a menacing stance. No! She puts a paw on his form, ignoring his whimper, and steps down. Oh wow, I didn't expect that. I did not expect it at all. Tell me, how much more have you changed? Seed, I'm not in the mood for jokes. You can stop the jokes by eliminating me. Wing. Hyphen doesn't respond, instead turning tail and dashing off. Without a second thought, I give chase, my claws kicking up the dirt. I had always been faster than her, and catch up with her within 10 meters. This is a tackle. This is not a bite situation. Ultra, you can lurk and play Marvel Snap. It's okay. I throw her down on the ground by her neck, ready to hold her down with my forelegs. She rolls to the side and I miss. Her movements aren't fast enough to put distance between us, and I fling myself on her again. This time, I manage to pin her down proper. You've never had to fight in the real world, have you? It's not even about brute force, like I'd always believed, especially when you try to play wrestle with dogs twice your size. It's about being able to let go of rationality. Doing what the other wouldn't expect. You don't know how I've changed, and probably are basing your expectations off how I acted in the past. It's so damn easy to eliminate you. I'm just ranting at the moment, I am aware. I can't stop it. The misunderstandings festering over 15 years just overflowing, spilling out of me. Hyphen is struggling against me and is putting up a good effort too. I don't have time to waste. What to do? Ask her about her true opinion me through all these years. Attempt to sort out some misunderstandings before fighting. Just let me know now with guaranteed. Don't waste time. No. We sort out the misunderstandings. For good measure, I bite down her neck. What? In my zealousness, my muscle memory fails me. I feel my teeth pierce her skin. Gah! She winces as I press down, deepening the wound, but not by more. This was definitely not allowed in the past arenas. But at this point, the reality emulation program should have immediately broadcasted a warning of my first transgression. Hyphen, look, I really want to tell you how I feel before it all ends again. Even as the words leave my mouth, I feel like a fraud. Injuring her like this probably isn't helping turn around her perception that I'm a monster. I just want to have a chance to admit my wrongs, since I never was able to. Her opinion of me was already so solidified. She just glares at me, partially in pain and partially as if she can't believe that I have the audacity to bring up the topic, especially in this situation. You can stop right there. No matter what you're going to say, you're disgusting. She starts flailing again against my hold, but thankfully her efforts are weaker than before due to the pain. Sorry, Hyphen. I had to do it. Just give me a moment, please. It's not about Fanshu. It's about the way I treated you. I'm sorry I assumed everything on your behalf. I should have respected and listened to what you had to say. I only listened to myself and ignored your ideas and agency, all the while thinking I was doing everything for you. I feel her stop struggling underneath me, but she's listening. I guess that's why our entire alliance was so harmful to you. In the past, I thought I was doing the right thing. I realized I was only controlling you. And now I totally understand why you chose to conspire with Fanshu instead. I finish quiet, then she nods weakly. You know what? I am glad you realize that. Let's just end this. Eliminate me. You have the upper bar. Sure. But yeah, if I could, I would let you win. Like I promised you last time. But this time, I really need to keep the feather, okay? And with that, I feel down her torso with her paws. Her eyes are on me, but she doesn't resist. I find her hidden pendant and crush it. I'm back in this body. So tired of this body. Cumbersome and heavy. Wow, I survived A Arena 9. Baked fondue. My body so heavy and leaning on another dog. I can barely make out of his bag. Basest thing Sid ever said. Ha! Nice try. But I'm really gonna need to be taking that feather. So that just happened. Thanks for helping me keeping me safe, Moachi. Max rests me in his bed, and I can only sink into the sheets, lacking the strength to pull them up higher to my chin. Bro really dead named him Max. One sleep later. It's the morning after the A Arena. I'm snug in the blankets, and Max is nowhere to be seen. He probably went off to work. My body just feels lethargic. All energy snapped from me. I think I just fainted after the A Arena. Oh, I forgot there was like a text message feature. Hey Sid, Finn just texted me. Why would she do that? And how? Before I brought you home, she told me she wanted to tell you something. I gave her my phone number. One sleepy. Okay, what did she say? She said meet at the Central Zone at 4 p.m. No tricks this time or A Arena, I promise, she said. I don't know if I believe that. She did seem sincere, though. She said it was related to what you said to her in the A Arena. Alright then, I guess you should try meeting with her. I hide my wrist phone interface. I'll go meet her just to see what it's about. In the end, I met up with Finn at the time and place she had texted Max to relay to me. Remember when I thought this game was going to be about how civilization, like all humanity, turned into dogs? She apologized to me, saying she had also been in the wrong. She said while she genuinely had wanted a shot at conquering my feather bear status, she had lost the A Arenas fair and square, both in the past and the present. Give me the choice to ghost her. She told me that after I apologized to her in the A Arena, she reflected on her own mental state. By holding the grudge that she didn't deserve to lose to me, she didn't believe that I could change. In the process, she inadvertently hindered herself from changing and growing as well. She wishes she hadn't latched onto that thought, and now realizes the damage it's done to her psychologically. I didn't have the heart to point out that her ill will towards me only ended up causing harm to herself, not to me. But at least, she's finally learning. I thought it was just a TOEFL doggy. I thought it was the dog dating sim, bro. We made a truce, while deep down, I don't think either of us believed that we could be close like we had been leading up to the past A Arena. It seemed nice to have a reconnection from those days. Sometime later. Finn Hong in your A Arena, you made your peace with a challenger. Whatever happened to the big-ass golden retriever that we recruited? I meet with Kuei Li in the night market again. She says she's gathered more information about my brother. I forgot about the brother plot! Last time we spoke, she said she would try to dig up some security camera footage. I wonder if her tip is about that. I've also tried investigating on my own, to no avail. I went to check out the 2 stations that Chun Win had rigged his MRT transaction records to show, day after day, NJ Station and KH Station. I wonder if instead of having rigged the records, he really did live in one of those areas after I left the island. But the transaction timestamps are caninely impossible. No dog could physically scan his pendant at the MRT gauge consistently down to the millisecond. Regardless, after visiting NJ Station and KH Station, my trail had run cold. I have no idea about Chunwin's fate. I have no idea what he could be doing in those 2 locations. I'm so ashamed that I ran away, but that's what I am trying to fix now. I want to know where he is. I want to know how he's doing. And there's just a feeling that something is wrong. Do you think there's actually more, a lot more to the game, and we're gonna go find the brother? Or do you think this is MCU set up for winter with the Shiba Inu, or autumn with the Shiba Inu, whatever it's called? The sequel? Why set the transaction times to 9 and 5? Is it a hint pointing to a work facility? A dog of his ranking wouldn't have this sort of activity pattern anyhow. Day to day, he wasn't even need to use public transit if he wished. Though, I wouldn't put it past him to take transit just to try it. I order an IU jelly lemonade, my favorite drink. Well, second to bubble milk tea. Just after I get my order and return to my seat, I spot Kuei Li coming in. For fun, I don't wave to her, just curious to see how long it takes her to find me. But she spots me very quickly.
Hey, there you are.
Hi, Quayle. She plops down across from me.
How are you doing?
I'm good, I'm alright. I hope you have something helpful for me today.
I do, in fact.
It's autumn with Shiba Inu, but I think game is still gonna keep going, yeah.
Though you're not gonna ask me how I'm doing. Cold and straight to business as usual.
Ha. How are you doing? Quayle grins cheekily, smug that I listened to her. The truth is, she has grown on me, despite my efforts not to get close. After the initial distance I put between us, she's yet to demonstrate any ulterior motive. Hopefully, this won't be a mistake. I've made so many mistakes in the past, trusting dogs that offer me a good deal too good to be true.
Well, I've been good. I've been great. Just realized, just waltzing my way around town is only a Labrador can.
There, you happy now? That response wasn't anything of substance. I didn't even need to know that. It doesn't enhance our relationship or trust. Why would you care if I asked how you're doing? At this point, I'm just messing with her. A part of me is just curious as to how she would respond.
Well, your answer was also just, I'm good, I'm alright. Which is typically just a canned response. By the way, you said I'm alright. Makes me feel like it's not alright. So there was some information to be gleaned, and therefore, it wasn't a useless question. From that, I think I deserve to be judged based on even ground here.
Okay, fine. You're right, I'm not that alright. I'm feeling a bit down, in fact. I tried poking around the 2 locations from the travel logs. I didn't get any results. The area was just too broad, and I know nothing about how my brother is related to those 2 areas.
You know, I'm a bit surprised you even admit that you're feeling down. The Sid I researched would never say that.
Yeah, I would never say something like that to a busybody stranger like you. I stick out my tongue, trying to make it clear I'm just joking. Though to be honest, I have mellowed down considerably since those AR Arena years, if I do say so myself. But you know, some habits do remain. In the re-challenged Arena 9 with High Fin yesterday, I was afraid of the sides of me it reawakened. And I was afraid of how quickly my mind relapsed to scheme ruthlessly against others.
Yeah, that explains why you're still so rude and cold. Even though I'm the one that gave you the last solid lead you have about your brother. Maybe this one will make you really warm up to me.
She playfully makes a flourish with her paws. I take a sip of my lemonade. The IU jelly is so juicy and refreshing. Good. I'm listening?
Well, I was about to get some security footage. I was able to. The unfortunate part is that there's still no real sign of him in the dates after the final AR Arena.
Right. I suppose that's it then. The lead is that. There's no trace of him. Say, Quayle.
Yes, Sid?
I'm going to be frank with you. Her ears perk up and she looks at me attentively, but also in a way that seems like she's bracing for a rude comment or joke. Not because I fully trust you, but you know, it might help the investigation.
You know what? I'll take that. Though my instinct tells me it's a mixture of both. You're just saying it's for the investigation, so you don't have to admit you're starting to trust me.
I grin at her sheepishly. That's not how this works. But anyway, back on topic. I'm really concerned about whether my brother is if he's even alive. Quayle lets out a heavy sigh.
Right, I get it. You haven't seen him in ages.
I nod.
You have no idea where he might be.
I nod.
The island is a dangerous place.
I nod.
For dogs that don't rank high, like your brother.
I nod.
My point is, there's no reason for him to be in danger. It's more likely that he's gone into hiding.
Right. I want to object, the previous day's arena encounter coming to mind. I have the highest ranking for dog's sake, and I still got threatened and targeted. Maybe Chun Win is being targeted as well, despite not being the bearer of the feather. I think I will tell Kuei Li about the re-challenge arena when I have the chance. I think I trust her enough to. So, say he's alive. Is there anything in the footage to support that?
Well, in the footage of the days before your last day arena, he physically showed up at the stations around 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. But the timestamps when the cameras captured him scanning his pendant aren't the exact same as what's on the transaction logs. For example, the logs show 9 o'clock daily, but on the camera it's more of a caninely possible situation, such as 9:01:53. He would arrive on time, but since there are other dogs in front of him, he couldn't control exactly when he scans his pendant in the gate. Another interesting thing the footage shows is that he was wearing some sort of uniform.
With that, she plucks a photo out of her bag.
It's the same uniform for a few days in a row before the day of the final A arena.
Live brother reveal?
I think this could be a hint.
I squint and peer closer at the picture. It's very blurry and hard to make out the lettering on the uniform. It's likely a logo, and just being able to have the image captured is a great lead.
Do you recognize this uniform at all?
I wish, but no. Do you?
I have some ideas, but didn't have the time to double check. I'll send you a list of anything remotely similar to it. Maybe something will ring a bell. I guess I'm a bit surprised. The reason I didn't do more in-depth research is that I thought you'd recognize something that your brother wore so often.
My god, it's Max.
Not to make you feel bad or anything. I'll just do a more thorough check of business and work facilities in the area.
Well, you're right to be surprised. We are siblings, after all. It's a safe assumption that I might know something. But the truth is, we weren't living together at the time anyway. Sure, we messaged and met up now and then, but I was focused on my high-tier A arenas, and so was he. At the time, it seemed like everything was coming to an end so soon. So I just toughed it out, barely in contact with anybody. I knew he was doing well in his A arenas, but who'd have known that our brackets would meet just like that?
Haha! It was a bracket that made the news for sure. But it wasn't half as scandalous as the news when the winner just ran away with the very prized feather that kept dogs motivated to win the arenas.
Did the music stop? I think so. Yeah, there's no music on my end. I mean, I knew it was unavoidable to be talked about, but I wasn't around to know what was said about me. I've still been too ashamed to ask Max about what happened after I left. I could also look up news articles, but same thing, too embarrassed. I think I've just been on this scene for too long. The music ended its loop.
Don't worry about it. It was mostly unfounded speculation. Only you know the truth of what happened. It's your life.
I guess so. Anyway, I'll hold on to this photo, and you should send me a list of places you think it might be from.
Yep, there's a list that I quickly generated from an image recognition search. I just haven't gone through them manually yet to see what might make sense. That can be our next step.
Thanks a lot for the help.
You're welcome.
You know what? You want to go to 2 stations and walk around? Maybe we'll happen upon something.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I finished my beverage and washed the sweet aftertaste down with a sip of water. I put the photo of my brother securely inside my sweater and we set off. At the MRT, I used my usual method to enter the stations, hiding my pendant face. Let me double check real quick, hold up. I'm just making sure there's still sound on the Steam Deck. Yeah, there is. I don't hear music on mine. Is there music now? Oh yeah, there is. First, we travel to NJ Station. It's near the Central Zone, 2 stops down the Green Line from our current location. Part 2 of the 86-part Shiba Inu summer blockbuster. Here we go. We decided to comb the area street by street. Kuei Li pulls up a map on her wrist phone, and we stroll down one street, then walk around one block, covering all sides. We then move on to the next block. By the way, Kuei Li, I need to tell you something. Kuei Li looks over and nods, signaling her attention. So I was challenged to some sort of AR Arena rematch yesterday. Kuei Li stops in her tracks, her expression concerned.
Go on.
It's like, kind of just not invested. Every summer we do part 2. We do 2 parts. I think the issue is it's just so much monologuing and explaining what's happening and how everyone feels and not, like, doing any of it. It was one of the runner-ups from the 9th AR Arena. Somehow she found me after my lunch with Max. I didn't believe her at first, but then when she took out her pendant, mine reacted to it. We entered an AR Arena generated just for the 2 of us. But this re-challenge AR Arena was some sort of replay of the actual AR Arena that happened between the 2 of us. Gamer in nursing home. Okay, Grandpa, it's time for part 71 of Shiba Inu. I love that part 71 would be 34 or 35 years from now. That would be fucked up if I was in a fucking nursing home at that age. Okay, Midnight Masked Apologist. Yeah, man. And what's your point? And what was that other movie that came out really recently? Oh, it was. I was like, wasn't there like a really popular movie that came out recently, and like every review was like, this movie's kind of just a lot of talking, and the answer was yes. It was Across the Spider-Verse. It was weird. I had the consciousness of the me in the past AR Arena. I don't know if that makes sense. It wasn't a new AR Arena from scratch, but like I said, a re-challenge. That's the term the challenger used. Didn't deny the nursing home allegations. Yeah, I just said it'd be fucked up if I was in a nursing home at like 60. Like I said, it'd be fucked up if I ended up in a nursing home at all. Honestly, if I make it to the point of needing a nursing home, that's pretty bog. Both of us were free to act as we wished. But you think I'm gonna have loved ones taking care of me? Oppenheimer is that way too. Well, the thing about Oppenheimer is I feel like most people expected it to be that. I could be wrong. Maybe all the reviews say this is just 3 hours of people talking. But like Oppenheimer, everything I saw, people were just like, yeah, this is gonna be a movie about talking. Across the Spider-Verse really does not have a lot of action in it, despite it being so long that it's a part 1 of a 2-part movie. Both of us were free to act as we wished, but the other participants in the arena all acted the same as they did in the past, or only changed minorly in reaction to me one of the challenger's new actions. I called you Grandpa. Clearly that implies that there's gonna be gamer offsprings. I appreciate your confidence in me. It was like we were given a chance to change that we would have liked to change. It was like we were given the chance to change what we would have liked to change, and the AR Arena would run its course with the decisions of our present selves. But I already knew what happened in the past AR Arena. That's the thing. So that knowledge helped me deal with the other participants, even if I was clueless as to how the re-challenge AR Arena worked at first. Yeah, man, I know, I figured this out already. I was able to outwit the challenger herself as well, and so I won this one. And that's why I'm worried that, if I'm being targeted and allowed to be re-challenged one-on-one, the same could happen to my brother as well. Kuei Li is silent, processing the information.
Did this challenger tell you what she would be getting out of this?
She said that if any re-challenger wins, they will get the Feather of Truth.
Just like that?
I shrugged. She wasn't very clear about it, but my pendant reacted to hers, so I imagined something was programmed in place. You remember how an official ARI regulated AR arenas? We go to those rooms and then they connected to the emulated reality with our pendants. Our pendants still connected us, but this time out in the open, not in the ARI buildings, and just one-on-one.
Interesting. It's strange, but I believe it. Though it's so unfair, they could just take the feather if they win. Decades of your hard work down the drain just like that.
Perhaps it is unfair, but maybe it's just righting the wrong that the feather went to someone like me.
Sounds like someone's feeling awfully guilty about this whole feather bearer thing.
Guilty? I guess I've never kept it a secret from Max. You'd be surprised how offended dogs get when you have second thoughts about the prize dangled in front of their noses year after year, while they were forced to participate in the A arenas.
It's not like every dog cares about the feather. Most just want the high ranking so they pretty much can do what they please on the island. You can have a life just fine without the feather itself, which is not the sole purpose of the A arenas.
I just feel hypocritical speaking ill of holding such power, when I am the one that holds it. As we continue walking, I spot a sign that is similar red lettering to Chun Wen's uniform on the photo, and take it out to compare. Do you think that could be the logo? How the fuck am I supposed to say that? Mamau Enterprises? She, red font, slightly slanted.
It's missing the oval around it though.
You're right. Features, font size, color, perhaps one height encoding of flourishes around the words.
What are you talking about?
Oh, sorry, just a habit. Let's keep looking. We head down the next block. Kuei Li pulls up our hologram map and marks the route we've walked so far.
I'm just wondering, what were you expecting when you were gunning for the feather?
Fuck, dude. Almost said ooh.
Like, what did you plan to do with it after you won? If you had any specific plans for it at all?
Well, it's funny, because in the very beginning, as a puppy, I wasn't interested in the feather in the slightest. The challenger from yesterday was actually one of the dogs that spurred me to aim for higher than I would have. Dude, the music's fucking blasting out. Her name is Hi Finn. This feels like the Season 2 pilot episode that recaps Season 1 for you.
Hi Finn. The name rings a bell. Did you two all really have a really big fallout? I remember reading about it on some news articles.
Haha, I guess that happened.
Want to talk about it?
I'm not sure about that.
Well, come on, just a bit. You seem to have something to say about it.
Tell her what I think about the fallout, even if it sounds horrible. Yeah, whatever. Who fucking gives a shit? Shy. It's just difficult to talk about it after I've tried so hard to bury it, but I might as well tell you a bit. It was A Arena 9. This is literally just recapping what we just played. I'm gonna speed through this. I'd already had a reputation for winning the past arenas. All of them, dogs were intimidated and dealt with that in various ways. For example, that superstition that dogs have with white dots in their front legs or have white paws are unnatural. Kuei Li nods.
From my research, I found that Hi Finn had stated you were a white dot in many interviews. Meaning you're a descendant of a family with a very violent history in the A arenas. She used it to support her claims that you killed Fan Chu on purpose.
You already know so much, huh? I'm impressed. Why'd you ask me about the fallout, then?
Well, things that happen can be looked up in archives. Only you can tell me your real thoughts and feelings.
Huh, I guess so. I mean, she wasn't wrong. I do have a white dot, but I have no idea why it even matters. Some distant, ancient, ancestral tie to dogs I have no idea about. Plus, assuming everyone with a white dot is evil is just putting nature 100% over nurture. It's an excuse to justify how I won over her, in my honest opinion. But yeah, the real issue was really that I liked Hi Finn. I actually wanted us to win together. Now that I look back, I have no idea why I was attracted to her. I would even have thrown a match so that she would win, before the betrayal happened. You see, after that A arena, I learned to not trust any dogs. Don't make any real alliances. If I did, I was mentally prepared for them to betray me at any point. I was ready to do the same. Hi Finn's betrayal taught me that what I need is freedom. Freedom from other dogs' wants and desires. Without that freedom, I will always be at the mercy of another. It seemed reasonable. She was doing John's. She had a fucking white dot. There was nothing I could do. It seemed reasonable that, in order to be free of the whims of dogs, I would need to hold all the power for myself. I glanced at Kuei Li, who's been silent. Hopefully this isn't boring her, but she asked. Sorry, went on a bit of a rant there. Am I losing you here?
No, go on.
So yeah, that's what happened. There you have it, my honest opinion. 5 out of 10. Maybe my reaction to the betrayal was overly dramatic. Burned by a romantic attraction that was spreading rumors I'm a white dog murderer, time to take over the island. But I was young, and choosing to make the most of it took me far in the end. By the way, choosing to taking over the island? What are you talking about? I do regret how I was. You could have called me ruthless in the arenas, but I'd say it was more pragmatic.
Seems like you're just trying to justify your guilt, just like how Finn was.
Gah, right to the Kokoro. What the fuck? Sometime later. We cover another 2 blocks, scanning the shyness for the logo of my brother's uniform with some false alarms. I take some photos of those we confirm to be not a match, just in case. Of course, I also photograph the ones that are still ambiguous. I wonder if I could figure out which dogs are going to challenge me.
I suppose it's only dogs that have participated in the A Arena with you, hence the re-challenge.
Yeah, the fact that the re-challenge arena held the state or the memories of what happened in the past points to them being against dogs I have competed against. Sheikh Wei Li, have you competed in the A arenas?
I have. But it's strange. It's more like I have memories of them.
What do you mean?
You know the whole waking up feeling? Like your consciousness is a bit woozy, like the memories created in the A arena are trying to fuse into your physical body?
I kinda get what you're saying. The way I think it works is that the memories are being downloaded back to our physical body. That might be what you're describing.
Yeah, I do have memories, but not that feeling you get when you know a memory is 100% correct. Like the corresponding muscle memory isn't there.
I don't think I noticed a lack of muscle memory. To me, it just felt like I did physically carry out the actions in the A arena. Though that could have just been a trick of the mind to reconcile my memories with my physical body. I wonder if your Labrador physique or something genetic isn't fully compatible with the ARI hardware, if the muscle memory is something that is completely absent.
Yeah, maybe.
Is Quayle gonna end up being her brother, but in like a different body? We walked along in comfortable silence. We're almost at the end of the last street which planned to scan manually. It's funny how this feels like a regular afternoon in K9da, strolling down the street with a lab, chit-chatting. I'm so curious how she ended up here. Maybe she's also a type of feather holder. What if she's a descendant of the fabled species of dogs that once lived on the island? Ha! My imagination is pretty wild sometimes. Either way, I think her actions so far make her just trustworthy enough. Although, there's still the deeply rooted thorn in my heart, the fear of another betrayal. But I wonder, will Kuei Li be different? Sheikh Kuei Li, I don't normally ask this, I really don't. But what's your rank?
No worries, I figured you'd want to know. Wouldn't want to entrust your personal feelings and information to some random dog.
She takes out her pendant and flips it to face up to show me. 9 large orbs are filled, with 7 of the smaller ones filled.
You're a 97.
Wait, sorry. You're a 97, huh? Not bad. Pretty good. How about the ranking? Pretty good. Thanks for showing me. Quayle pushed her pendant back in her jacket.
No problem.
We look down at the last few buildings in the area. Doesn't seem like there's anything matching.
Your brother's hint might be pointing to areas even further than from the MRT station. Like I said, I'll run a graphical analysis first thing when I get back.
Alright then, thanks. I should go, but let me know what you find.
Alright, Commander Sid. See you back on the Normandy.
Later. Why do I feel like she just made a joke I'm not getting? No dog World War II? No dog D-Day? I'm lounging on a chair in Max's apartment waiting for him to get home. Last night I woke up back on the bed in the apartment. I vaguely remember Max carrying me up to the apartment, so I guess I wasn't fully passed out. Wasn't fully conscious either. A dog's body uses up nutrients while the mind is in the comatose A-Arena state, which is why the ARI hooks us up to all those life support things, in official A-Arenas that is. Good thing that after a good sleep and meal, I felt well enough to meet with Kuei Li. Just then I heard the locks clicking and in steps Max. Hey Max, you're up! He shuts down his bag by the desk. When did you wake up? I think around noon. Thanks for the food, by the way. In the morning, I had woken to take out egg crepes and a note on the dining table. It was from Max, and she said to eat as much as I want and to text him if I feel unwell. You know exactly how much I love egg crepes. How could I forget after watching you eat them every single day for 3 years? And that's what you ordered at the Q restaurant, so I knew right then you hadn't changed at all. Gah, I know, sometimes you're an open book. Definitely a creature of habit. Max makes your face at me. How was your day? What were you up to? Well, I went to meet with Kuei Li. She said she had a new lead. I pull out the photo of my brother and show it to him. He takes it wordlessly and scrutinizes it. Oh, wow! She managed to get the security footage? It's an amazing clue. She must have really good sources. Yeah, I'm starting to think there is something fishy about that. Truly in the anime OVA. I noticed that Max has a strange expression on his face. It doesn't seem to have heard me, so I look at him to see if he'll say something. He doesn't respond immediately. You didn't tell me you were going to meet with the lab. I mean, not that you had to. It makes me worry that you'd go without messaging me, just in case. He seems upset. I'm sure he's just looking out for me. Plus, now that we know dogs can re-challenge me, not to mention me fainting yesterday, it is reasonable that he'd worry that something dangerous could happen again. However, I wouldn't have gone if I didn't think I could take care of myself. Still, I should speak carefully. I know Max. He wouldn't bring this up unless he really cares about it. What should I say? Dude, yeah, just say you're sorry, you know? I don't think changing the topic is the right thing to... well... I really don't like changing the topic. Huh, it took me 16.79 seconds, slacker. Look, shut the fuck up. Look, Max, I can tell you're upset. No, I'm not. He pouts and glares away at the door, suddenly very interested in it. He totally is. I really thought I'd be safe going to meet with Kuei Li. If I got ambushed, I would have Kuei Li to take care of me. But what if... Yeah, I know what you're thinking. What if she betrayed me or didn't look out for me? Look, Max, I know you're worried, but trust me when I say that I felt the risk was worth the information to be gained. Worst comes to worst, I was prepared to use the feather, that's all. You're right. You can take care of yourself better than I could, in a pinch. I'm sorry that I was so difficult, but give me a quick update next time you go running out, okay? Alright, it's a deal. So, back to before I distracted you, you were saying there might be something strange about Kuei Li? Yeah, after meeting Kuei Li today, something has been on my mind. Like you said, she has really good contacts. She seems to know dogs' ranks as well. Even I don't know where to start looking for that, so I can't imagine how difficult it might be for the general public. However, she does have a really high rank, so I wonder, she could be using her rank to get the information, in which case, I'm not too happy about that. Or, she works at the ARI. So you're saying the information might be classified, so she either used her rank rights, or simply has direct access to it herself. Yes, either or. It's silly of me to not know much about the Allocated Reality Institute itself. I should have learned more about their operations before I left the island. Do they really allow such loopholes for information leaks like rank rights? Max's tone turns serious. Sid, it is perfectly within the lab's right to use her rank rights. I doubt that any ARI member would be an exception. Any dog has to obey the dog whose rank is above them. It is the purpose of the ARI to determine who on the island is deserving and to separate the good dogs from the bad. I grimace. The rights to alter reality are allocated accordingly. My voice is just a croak. Even after so many years, I still remember the dogma of the ARI. Huh! No, imagine having to hear it again and again, day after day. I fell for the Allocated Reality Institution's promise of a dream. We all fell for it. Max shies. It's the way things work. Even if you don't use rank rights, everyone else is still doing it. If Kuei Li did, would you hate her? I mean, it wouldn't be fair to hate her. I think I would be disappointed, but yeah, it would be unfair to judge her for using her rank rights. I've tried to use my rank rights as little as possible, but I have used it before. I can't enforce my values on someone else. I mean. Either way, I will try to get that information of Kuei Li on what her sources are. Does anyone know the typical ranks of dogs that work at the ARI itself anyway? I have no idea. I think their members are kept secret, but I've heard that dogs that are keen on an ARI position aim for very high ranks. I see. Be careful, shit. Be careful, Sid. I mean it. I really hope the ARI itself isn't out to get you. Especially now that random dogs on the street can just kidnap you and force you into an AR arena. Sheesh. I certainly hope the ARI isn't after me. I'd like to see them try, though. I'm worried, but it was actually kind of fun. I thanked you for getting breakfast for me, but totally forgot. Thanks for bringing me back last night. Ah, no problem. You were kind of awake, but definitely not awake enough to come back yourself. I was prepared to stay till the AR arena was done, no matter how long it took in real-world hours. Yeah, even though some time passes much quicker in the arenas, there's no telling how much time it might last, huh? How was Hi Fin after we woke from the AR arena, by the way? I called a cab for her as well. Woke her up enough to ask her to pay with her own pendant. Speaking of which, how much was it? I'll transfer you some tags. Don't worry about it. I mean, I already see where this is going. You'll insist because you feel bad. My face grows red, though I know he's just joking. Buy me a drink next time. Okay, deal. Just then, I get an email notification.
They've attached a sheet of company names and the logos generated from image recognition. I've included the raw list as well as marked down ones. I would delete after checking manually, but I've left them in case you spot something.
Got it. Thanks, Quayle. Okay. The illusion of free choice. Shay Mash, you want to help me go through these? Sure thing. We spent some time going through the sheet. In the end, we still have quite a long list of logos that could be a match. I have an idea. Hey, Quayle, could you do a search for where those companies are located physically?
Sure thing, 1 sec.
Boop, 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 boop. Moments later, I got a message notification. Yeah, okay, I get it. Perfect. New columns have been added to the dataset with the addresses as well as geohashes. Ooh, so reliable. I plot the locations onto a map, leaving only the ones that are within a certain radius to NJ Station and KH Station. I tinker around with how large the radius should be, eventually settling on encompassing just up to the stations preceding, and following them onto MRT lines. If he had really left some hint related to location, it wouldn't make sense if it were somewhere too far from the two stations. I'd hate if my nickname was QL. It's amazing this can all work on wrist phones. Yeah, I know, right? I remember when you had to do even lightweight work on computers. In K9, I worked for technology research, and we were using the equivalents to desktop computers here for most things. The processing power of phones isn't advanced there. Things in general aren't as convenient, but at my work, basically, we were responsible for developing and improving technologies. Hardware, software, I took a lot of inspiration from what existed on the island. I bet you had quite some suggestions for them. I did. When I left, technology on the island was still more advanced than K9 does. So I was able to repurpose some of the software for use in K9. The dogs I worked with were brilliant and came up with most of the implementation based on their current hardware capabilities. As we chat, I send Max a copy of the data. Upon receiving the mail notification, he pulls up the data. Alright, let's go through these data points first. You do Station KH and I'll do NJ. Max nods in agreement, and we pore over the map with a renewed focus. One by one, we examine the details of each company on the shortlist, in case there's something of significance based on its exterior appearance or the type of goods or services it provides. Hey, Miss Sid, take a look at this. He points to a name on his hologram map. Oh! Obsidian Rock Industries. Office location, 9th floor. Just like the 9th AR Arena. This could be it. No, this must be it. I'll go through the rest of them just to be sure there's nothing else. Yeah, I think I could catch this one because I know enough about you. But if there's an even more obvious hint than Obsidian Rock, you would be the best dog to catch it. Yeah, you're right. Either way, there might be something else to look for, since Obsidian Rock is near KH Station. There might be a clue near NJ Station too. Yeah. I continue looking down my map. I'm around halfway through and nothing really rings a bell. There's a bunch of coffee shops, but all of them had opened after I left. Even if Chunwina wanted to hint at somewhere we went to together, I couldn't reliably say if I could recognize it by name or pictures. It's been over a decade. My memory isn't that good, and the establishments might have gone through renovations. Hey Sid! I looked up the company. Their website's really bare bones. Just lists their address and has a picture of the exterior of the building. Nothing about what they do. Interesting. I'll pay a visit tomorrow. I pull up my messages and debate whether to tell Kuei Li. I'm still not 100% sure if she might be an agent for the ARI or something. Right now, my instincts are telling me that. Dude, nah, fuck it. I've full faith. I don't have enough proof to be sure, though. I decided to tell her either way. After all, it's not like my brother would just be living at the Obsidian Rock Industries office address. Knowing him is probably just one step in several more to actually find him. So even if Kuei Li does work for the ARI, this wouldn't be the last step to finding him. I might still need her help. When push comes to shove, I could still double-cross her later. And since Obsidian Rock is one of the hints, it means that only myself and dogs I've known for long enough could plausibly decipher this. Though, given Kuei Li's track record, I can't rule out the possibility that she already knows the significance of Obsidian Rock, or could find out. In the case that she hasn't figured it out yet, I suppose there's no harm in just telling her the name Obsidian Rock, but not the meaning of it. When the investigation reaches a point where she cannot proceed on her own, I will no longer be dependent on her for new liege. Basically, I'll use your help as much as possible, with the new complication that she might be a double agent. Yeah, okay. Maybe I shouldn't worry so much. Chunwin must have put in some safeguards to prevent a random third party from finding him. Let's hope that my trust in him won't jeopardize me. Hey QL, could you help look up information on Obsidian Rock Industries? It's near KH Station.
Okay.
It's pretty funny though. John Wynn and I used to play scavenger hunt games like this. Before the AR arenas, before everything. When we were just puppies, living on the plains. Living your merry life with the prod dogs. Ha ha ha. It's been so many years, but you can't come up with new jokes? Old habits die hard. Geez, I guess it's still kind of funny. Makes my stomach hurt kind of funny. It's hurt in a bad way. Damn, I'd live a decade in peace away from these jokes from the island. I deserve this, seeing as I used to make fun of prods with even more gusto. With real venom, too. Later that night. Fellas, I need you to change your vest. You're getting dirty. You gotta learn to do dog laundry, my mans. Wait, what the fuck? What the hell am I looking at? I don't know who's saying this, so give me a voice. Give me a voice to do for whoever the fuck Time is. Time of the Tat Clan. Bomb Rush Cyberfunk. Will refill my water bottle while I wait for a new voice to be given. Water bottle has been filled. "40 news anchor"? Do you mean like a news anchor from the 40s, or do you mean like 40 different news anchors at once? I presume you mean the original. This just in, I'm Time of the Top Clan. My superior, Monakai, has summoned you on behalf of Master IU. I knew I shouldn't have wandered down a deserted alley, even if it was a shortcut to the MRT station. I'm so fed up with all this mediocrity around me. It is poisoning me, dragging me down. Why did I have the luck of ending up here? I deserve better. No matter the cost, I will escape from here. Island Year 204, A Arena 5, Day 4 morning. Okay, so IU is... We'll give them the same voice, because I don't know if TM or whatever. Or, alright, do we want this person to have the same voice as their underling, Time? Or do we want this person to have a different voice from Time? I don't know if Time is going to return. By the way, it's definitely feeling like this is still going to take multiple streams. We might, like, I think a good pacing would be to do one A arena, because I assume we're going to have to go through multiple A arenas until the end. If we do one A arena per stream, that's probably a good way to pace it out. Getting a call. We're just going to give them the same voice then. You're sure you don't need any help carrying that, boss? Actually, could you help me with half of it? The way the background is lined up makes it look like Iru has like a ton of rocks on their back. I grin sheepishly and hoist parts of the sticks I was carrying my back to her. Thanks so much, Iu. No problem. We continue on in comfortable silence, back to what we dubbed a beach house. It's pretty quiet here, situated in a sparse forest overlooking the ocean. Short palm trees dot the island, which is actually quite vast. We picked this location because it's relatively secluded from both sides of by a half basin. Strangely, it doesn't seem like other dogs come to our side of the island often, but when we go further down north along the coast, we can usually find them. And of course, eliminate them. We've had pretty good luck with that so far. Back in the beach house, we sat down the fruits and sticks that we had foraged. Sticks go in a pile next to the door, while fruits go on the plates, which are really just wooden planks. Going through the motions of foraging and eating, it doesn't seem like we're hunting each other in a race to the top. After all, a dog doesn't need to be in first place. Making it to the top 5 would be good enough to proceed in a competitive bracket. However, I doubt these prod dogs are really thinking that far. Why did my parents have to move here? Iu and I eat the fruits in silence. My ears are alert in case any intruders decide to pay a visit. The next part of our routine is to take a walk east around the coast. Tidying things up and putting away our plates, we close up the beach house and trot towards the beach. The sand flows and shifts pleasantly under my paws, making a soothing, trickling sound. With deliberate steps, I allow the sand to cover my paws, enjoying the sensation of the particles running between my claws. In a shallow area of the water, there sits rocks covered with sea lichen, with interesting cavities from erosion by the waves. Iu hops around on them and I follow, the waves lapping at my feet. She leaps off one of the rocks, submerging herself fully into water, before bobbing up and yanking me down with her. I yap in surprise, but quickly shut my mouth as I plunge into the water. Bubbles burst all around me and I flail my limbs to float upwards. The light shimmers under the water, and I see seaweed and coral painting a colorful backdrop into ocean before I emerge with a gasp of air. Ha ha! It's deeper here than it looks. I splash Iu with water, and she sticks her tongue out playfully at me before she treads away, paddling with her front limbs. I'm gonna get you back for this. We proceed to have a lengthy water fight before we head back on shore. Alright, time to get serious. I reach up to my face and pretend to adjust imaginary sunglasses, a gesture which she returns. It's a ritual of sorts, which just naturally comes into place. A sign of teamwork and camaraderie, mutually acknowledging the good work we've done over the last 2 days. 2 days ago. Fuck. A flashback within a flashback. I pin the yapping dog down in the sand. I don't further attack her though, simply holding her in place. Call it a respite before the real pain begins. Iu, who had been hiding just in line of palm trees, comes bounding out. She joins me above the pinned victim, taking a huge swipe at her neck. The body I had been pinning down slowly dissolved into ashes, its particles floating into the air. Iu and I watch it disappear. It's as if a living being wasn't there just seconds ago. I hold out a paw towards Iu, and she meets it with a high five. Sweet! That's another one down. Hell yeah! I put a paw up to my face, pretending to adjust an imaginary pair of sunglasses. Ha! Wait. Ladies and... we're so good at this! She mimics my movement, a smile as smug as mine on her face. Where to now, boss? Haha, don't call me that. But let's keep going clockwise down the coast. Maybe we'll find an area that's good to set up camp. We walk for what seems like a couple of hours until the evening, not encountering any other dogs. Kinda strange. There have been fewer dogs since we started heading southwest. Well, it doesn't seem that we all spawn on the island in the same area, around the northeast shore of the island. Weirdly, I keep having a dream that instead of spawning, we were dropped into the AR arena from a flying bus. Anyhow, it seems that there aren't many dogs that bother exploring the island further. Or teaming up, for that matter. I wonder if they expect to do well, or even plan to. Like you said, we're prod dogs. I don't think it's something we really think about. I'm glad you're special in that regard, though. It's strange being the only non-prod dog here. I take her pause in mine, but I know you want this as badly as I do. We'll rank top tier in this AR arena, and proceed to a good bracket, which we deserve. IU nods vigorously and gives me a determined smile. We continue on our way and decide to head deeper into the foliage before it gets too dark to see. As luck would have it, we stumble across a small hut. We double check the perimeter, checking for signs of inhabitants. With me at the rear as backup, IU then charges inside. It turns out there is no one inside, and so we make it our temporary base. The next day, we forage further down the island, but don't find any more dogs. We get a good haul of supplies and bring them back to the hut. 2 more days pass, and we continue using the hut. We decide it would be a waste to not use it as a long-term base, and name it the Beach House. Alright, back to day 4. I'm in the Beach House, drafting up a rough map of the island as we've explored it, and the locations where we'd spotted dogs. Of course, I also have markers for where we eliminated dogs, to the best of my memory. It really seems they don't care that much and are treating this as some sort of resort, or playground brawl at most. I didn't want to believe it, but it seems prod dogs only have brawn on their side. As any good dog will know, that has never been enough to go far in historical AR arenas. I take a final look at the map, proud of my work. My thoughts are interrupted by knocking on the door. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap. It is the knocking pattern I agreed on with IU to verify our identity whenever we enter the Beach House. I should be more vigilant in my surroundings. I haven't been outside the beach house to check for activity since she went on patrol. Even if I didn't hear anything suspicious, I should be more proactive and not treat this like some urban office. As expected, IU enters, and the first thing I notice is her flustered expression. Immediately I'm concerned. Did she have an encounter? Was she followed back here? Boss, I saw something bad. She pauses, catching her breath. Tell me everything. I straighten up, waiting for her to calm down and gather her thoughts. I saw 2 dogs team up and eliminate each other. They were actively on the hunt. Seemed very strong. I'm worried. I got it. Thank dog. I thought it might have been something worse. Did they notice you? I don't think so, but I think they could track me down if they want to. They have a pretty elaborate system set up, just like us. Alright then, as long as they didn't spot you, there's nothing to worry about. But like I said, they're definitely a threat. It's the first time I've seen any other coordinated teamwork on this island. Look, I know it's surprising to see some intelligent behavior for once. But don't sweat it. If we run into them, just deal with it like we planned. The same way we eliminated those individual dogs? Yes, that's right. But I tell you, it's different. Like you said, I'm the boss, am I not? Do as you're told, then. Yes, boss? I think because this is a lot longer than I thought it was going to be, I'm going to start doing my regular voice for the white text. For the regular, game narration. And do the Sid voice for just when she's thinking and talking. They're on Discord communication. She trots off, ears drooping. Maybe I was too harsh. I see where she's coming from. Prod dogs are usually born in families that never had higher rankings, so of course they don't know much about AR arenas or even know about the benefits of winning. Of course they didn't have much cause to study the past AR arenas and to come up with strategies before Paul. It's such a waste because the key to becoming a good dog lies just under their noses, if only they make an effort. It might be a blessing that my parents came to the plains, which is why I ended up competing with the prod dogs. Should the fact that some prod dogs happen to team up is nothing to worry about. Alright, the next day, this is still in the past though. The day after, we go on our daily scouting trip. IU is quieter than usual, and the air hangs silent without our usual playful banter. She's still worried about what we saw yesterday. I'll let her worry, I guess. It doesn't seem like there's much I can say to persuade her otherwise. I have to make the best of what I have, and currently that is IU. Plus, there are fewer dogs left now. It makes sense that the remaining opponents will be more of a threat. We can't afford to mess around like before anymore. Maybe there will finally be an actual challenge. We round a bend in the shoreline to our usual relaxing spot on the ocean rocks, and I try to cheer up IU. I hop on the rocks, reaching to her with a paw. Hey, you want to take a break? Sure, if you say so, boss. Gee, I feel bad that you call me boss when you say it with such a low spirit. Low spirits? Good, she seems to have lined up a little. We hop around, splashing in the water just like any other day. Say, boss. Yeah, are you? I know you said not to worry about the other dogs, but I'm kind of scared. Oh, I guess you had that on your mind. But what is it exactly that you're afraid of? What makes them a threat? Can you list all your reasons to me? Alphabetically, in order? I try to be patient, understanding. I mimic the slow, professional cadence that my mom uses when she speaks on the phone. It sounds pretty soothing to me. I don't know. They're just so scary. And why do we have to do this? She plops down on a rock, not minding that it's slightly submerged in water. I believe what you said about this being the key to having the life that a good dog deserves. I know there's more for me to experience beyond what I currently have. But is this really for me? I'm just a prod dog. With that, she covers her face in her paws. I can hear her sniffling. My patience is being tested, but I wait for her crying to subside a little before addressing her concerns. Look, all I know is that I want to go back from where I came from. When I was born, I lived in a city full of lights. Life there is so much better, and the A Arena is designed so any dog can live that life. No matter your litter, the A Arena is a completely fair environment for everyone to get the life they deserve. It's the perfect equalizing mechanism, IU. It's so easy. All you need to do is kill some dogs in the A Arena. Well, technically, you don't even kill them. You just destroy their pendant in a virtual world. As long as dogs do this, they can come out on top in the equalizing mechanism. That's what I want, IU. To come out on top in the equalizing mechanism. And now is not the time to be showing weakness, if you want it too. I pat her. I thought she was giving her a little smooch for a second. I pat her shoulder. Look, I know that you still want this, and in return, I want you to trust that I can get us through the A Arena, no matter what. We're a team. IU doesn't respond, so I grip her shoulder and shake her. It is really bad timing for my A Arena partner to be in such a low spirit. Say it with me. We'll get through this together. We'll get through this together. That's the spirit. Alright, let's get back to the beach. We can chill some more. Take your time. I'll go into water. Come join me. I don't really feel like it. It's fine. You don't have to. I'll be back in a bit. Yeah. And this is where IU gets killed. Leaving her to mope, I dive into the water. The water is clear, shimmering in the light. I dive deeper, following the rock outward and away from the shore. Bro? Underwater doggy paddle for sure. What should I do next? Underwater doggy paddle. I'm going faster than the TTC back in Canada. Underwater doggy paddle. I'm feeling boundless. That felt great. A force slams into me from above. The air is knocked out of me and I feel under the pain, my side throbbing. I feel paws scuffling and grabbing me, inching around my neck. My mind barely pieces together the fact that this is the same dog that dived on top of me. I struggle and kick the water, twisting my torso. The dog, who I can see now is larger than me, scrabbles around my neck and torso with his paws. I know exactly what he's trying to find. I drop my hind legs and kick into him, propelling myself away. However, there's a splash. Another dog dives into the water from above. This one misses me by some distance, though, since it failed to knock into me with a dive like the first dog did. Where on earth did they come from? I didn't see any dogs on the rocks when IU and I were still there. I take the chance to propel myself up to the surface, breaking it something. I missed it. IU! I waste no time barking for IU. The smaller dog bursts out the water as well, just a few paws reach away. We both make a beeline for each other, and I take a huge swipe at her chest. She twists away, but there's a small movement I wanted to see, lured out with my feint. Her paw reaching up to shield an area of her clothes. Ha! Big mistake. She swipes at me as well, but like my first swipe, has no real target to pinpoint. Of course, I had hidden my pendant well within my clothes. I know that the shield didn't reveal its location, unless it's not at real risk of being hit. In response, I lunge for the kill. I have you! My paws connect with something hard under her shirt. Bingo. Boss, boss! Just in time, I see Ayu up on the ledge, looking down at us. When I was fighting the smaller Shiba Inu, the larger dog I initially escaped from seems to have retreated. I see no sign of him. Probably a good choice, as he obviously saw that his companion has been eliminated. I wave up to Ayu. Hey, how's it going? Are you alright? Yeah, I'm good. Just had a little water fight with some new friends. I'll be right up. Ayu, watch out! A figure knocks into Ayu, and I can see that it's the first larger dog that had ambushed me. How did he even get up there? The rocks are so steep. Ayu is scuffling with the dog. He's trying to pin her down, but she's putting up a good fight. Ayu, jump into the water, now! Ayu uses her hind legs to push me off before rolling and twisting straight off the cliff. She lands with a splash. However, the opponent, who heard my command as well, follows suit. Great, he's taken to bait. Above water, Ayu would probably be in a sticky situation, although I have seen her fight off larger dogs. However, nowadays 2 versus 1. He stands no chance. I'm certain of that. Ayu, stand in the water for as long as you can. Ayu obeys, and with that, we both dive down. Ha, it must be quite confusing for Mr. Attacker here, but he won't be around for long enough to figure us out. Following us, he dives down and lunges for Ayu. I paddle closer, but leave Ayu to her own devices as she battles one-on-one with the attacker. After a quick observation, I figure out where his pendant is located. It's not like it's a creative hiding spot. I can clearly see that it's in his jacket pocket. I still don't offer Ayu any help, despite being at a good vantage point behind the opponent's back, but I use this positioning for another reason, just for her to come back up to the surface. The opponent can't see, but I know Ayu did. The reason to break surface again is that, in the water, I don't think Ayu has enough strength to break the enemy's pendant. Our fur, combined with skinny Shiba Inu limbs, make it too difficult to get a good hit underwater. But as Ayu and he break for air, I make my move. Immediately just teleports into him and explodes outward. And with that, it's over. Perfect timing. Ayu is as cheerful as ever. The source of her previous anxiety over the AI arena proved completely wrong. At least, that's what I hope. It was the first time we defeated 2 dogs at once, boss. Pow! Just like that! Bang! Shaboom! Kablammy! And they were eliminated! Yeah, though I have to admit, their strategy was pretty sound. I can't believe they found that little cave in the rocks that was just slightly above water. Also, they must have been tracking us for a while and waiting for us. Yeah, they totally figured out our routine. It was amazing that you held them off for so long. Huh, it was thanks to you that we managed to get them both. I would have lost in a fair fight. You just somehow knew exactly what to do. In the moment, I had no idea that why you told me to dive underwater, but I'm glad it worked out, boss. Yeah, if you took the time to question anything, nothing would have gone well in this entire arena. Huh. And with that, we head back to the beach house. We silently agree to stop patrolling the shore for the day. 40's anchor voice was the correct choice. Day 7. As the days pass, Ayu and I explore other parts of the A arena. We eliminate some dogs on the way, but eventually we encounter no more. After another couple days, it seems like there are only 2 more dogs left on the island. Off. What is this? Who is the lad on the left, bro? Beans Bunkerton over here. We had spotted the 2 from afar at what we guess is their base of operations. It's further north in the A arena, closer to the original spawn point than the beach house. While they don't seem to have a structure like the beach house, take bets, and will we do all the arenas? Take bets now. What do you mean by do all? Do you mean like there's, because we know there's at least 9, we do all of them? That ain't real. Look at how he side eyes. While they don't seem to have a structure like the beach house, we've observed them after circling his set area. It's like they're donating. He's buffed the fuck out. You and I decided not to venture closer until we have a sounder strategy. These dudes are shredded, bro. I hate how it's side-eyeing us. We refer to them as the second duo, as they are the second organized pair in the entire arena we've seen, that is, apart from Ayu and myself. That would explain why the AI arena's emulated reality hasn't been terminated yet, but this dog-darned island is too vast for us into an encounter. Chunky chunky dunks, chunky chunky dunks, chunky 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 dunks. Sorry, I had to pet Dunks for a minute. I give him a chunky dunk song. He's over here snooting and being fat. That would mean either those two or the first duo had been picking off dogs. Ayu and I had eliminated a fair amount, but judging by the numbers, we can only take credit for eliminating around a third of the actual cohort. Ayu and I set up some traps and sound makers near our house. After all, the first duo had our shoreside hangout figured out, so it's fair that anyone could have found the beach house as well. Of course, it's not like me to only plan a defense. Ayu and I set out making an offensive plan too. We don't need to be caught off guard like last time, but it's good that Ayu is in higher spirits and as loyal as ever, doing anything I say without question. It's often a pair that is determined to make it till the end together that do well in the early A arenas. It's only A Arena 5 for me, so the ranks are in batches. This means that since I'm already one of the last 5 remaining dogs, we all get the same score. But of course, I still aim to survive till the end in this A Arena, and I am very, very excited for the upcoming A Arenas. Dog. That's a little cringe that top 5 just get the same score. From my understanding, starting from A Arena 6, it's individual rankings that matter, meaning each dog you outlive counts. Day 8. What a fucked score system. It's the day after we last confirmed the second duo's base, and Ayu and I are getting ready to shepherd them into our trap. I'm really excited to execute our plan. I can finally test out my mind in this A Arena. It's too risky to set up a trap right by their camp, as we could be discovered at any time. So we set it up somewhere further, which is the direction we'll herd them to. TCG gamer talking? Yeah, that's how I know it's fucked up. I have experience. Once preparations are done, Ayu and I split up. She is the decoy, and I will wait for her signal to proceed on my part of the strategy. I hope everything works out as planned. Not that I don't have some contingency plans on my collar, but a number of situations could happen. Like, what if they just gave birth to 2 puppies who are now their minions? It could be 2 against 4. Sorry, I should have written the voice. Anything could happen. I wouldn't have accounted for that in a million other scenarios. So my thoughts keep racing without rhyme or reason. It seems like the stress of the last few days is getting to me. Really, I just want to get this over with. Though, if I don't have the discipline to be patient till the end, do I really deserve to survive? A few moments later, I'm lying behind some shrubs, waiting. Finally, I hear some commotion. About time. I wonder if something delayed the window of opportunity for Ayu to act. But no big deal. I trust that she waited for the best timing. Sounds like the dogs are heading my way. Time for action. Ayu comes bounding into view. Fast on her heels are... Wait a second. These are some of the largest Shiba Inus I have ever seen in my entire life. When Ayu and I had observed them from afar, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. But now as they run side by side with Ayu, I can see that they are huge. Could it be... They're Akita Inus? What are Akita Inus doing here? There's a small population of Akita Inus on the island, though often mistaken for Shiba Inus in terms of appearance. Akita Inus are much larger in terms of size. They also have their own A Arena bracket due to their physical difference, the top performers of which then compete with the middle tier of Shiba Inus, because there are much more of us. The Akitas historically don't make it much further, the highest being around the 70th percentile in final rankings. I never thought I'd have to face an Akita. This completely throws off our plan. The genetic Shiba. They set up spider webs? I hate the side eyes so much. They were right at our trap. This area of the forest, we had laid a web of tripwires to capture the enemy while I could come in and join Ayu. Being the faster dog out of the two of us, of course Ayu was the bait. Of course Ayu had the traps memorized so that she could bypass them with ease. Ayu and I set the traps at a height that they would trip most Shiba Inus. As it was, Ayu has to jump over some of them. The Akita Inus were only slightly hindered by the tripwires. Now that Ayu knows that things are not going according to plan, she must be waiting for my instructions. So why am I so indecisive? It's as if time is frozen. I'm trying to come up with solutions to win, but my train of thought keeps hitting a wall. I try to gather my thoughts, but the wall resists me. It looms up over me while I stand small underneath it. My only idea is to... I can't imagine where this goes, that, like, there's, like, bigger stakes to it than the final A Arena where someone died for real that we've already, like, dealt with. Because not only are we like, okay, we know no one dies for shoot, and we know there's more A Arenas after this, we also know that all 4 of these dogs get the same score. Like, they just established there's nothing on the line here except pride. Okay, Ayu, let's hope this works for the sake of you and me both. To the clearing! Terrified as Ayu seems, she makes a small nod. I can only watch helplessly as she dashes around the two dogs, back into the trap zone that we now know won't work against the Akita opponents. The enemies must have heard me, but as I'm still hiding in the shrubs, they don't seem to bother stopping or splitting up to find me. I had hoped for them to split up. My heart sinks. This would be a true 2-on-2. I dash out from my hiding place and give chase. Of course, I'm not gaining much distance on the two Akitas, as well as the physically fitter Ayu. Ayu buys me time, taking more of a zigzag route, allowing me to close the distance in a straight line. One of them looks behind their shoulder, spotting me. Ah, here's another runt. Ignore it, brother! Let's get the first one. She's running towards that clearing. It'll be an easy pick. How can things turn out alright this time? Despite the fleeting but compelling thought to turn tail and run, I press on towards the clearing, where Ayu must be already. Thank goodness the trap zone at least slowed him down. My mind is working better now, after the bout of anxiety. Ayu and I are smaller, but we are more nimble. At the clearing, Ayu stares down the two dogs who advance on her. With no time left to waste, I run up and try to bite down on one dog's tail. Oi! You! They whip around to face me, unsure of who to tackle first. This surprise factor buys us a few seconds. I make eye contact with Ayu and start barking pointedly at the Akita Inu to the left. Hopefully Ayu understands. I want to focus on the brown-coated one first, who is the one I'm barking at. If we can whittle down the numbers, there may be hope. Got a real temper, you! The brown-coated one pounces on me and the larger one on Ayu. I flatten my body and dash to the side. The dog misses. From the way they wordlessly divide your work, they have a good report. Take that, you! She takes another swipe at me, which I dodge again. This goes on for several times. Occasionally glancing at Ayu, I see she's dodging the attacks, but the size of the enemy makes it difficult for her to find an opening to join me. How are they so bad at this? Maybe they're trying to tire us out? Or maybe it's because they do seem like brown types after all. Like what? Let's test this. So how come Akitas like you are in our arena? Not answering that. Oh, what's the harm? We just didn't show up to our arenas. Figured it wouldn't matter. Was able to skip some of them, but one day dogs from the ARI showed up at the door. Because the few Akita brackets had already progressed pretty far, they had to put us with the Shibas. They circled around us. My legs are starting to feel sore. I know I can't keep this up for much longer. I have an idea. I yap at Ayu, dashing back towards the trap area. Untying one end of a tripwire, I duck and hide. Ayu rounds the trees, the two in pursuit. The white one lags slightly behind. I take the chance. I run out, quickly circling around the dog and pulling the wire around her. She yaps but falls on her side, her limbs all tangled up. I jump on her, attack her torso. I claw and scrape her body as I'm digging a hole in the ground. I just grazed something solid. I hope it's your pendant. What could have been a clean hit only missed because she twisted her body in the other direction. Ha, you missed. Well, now I know I had been aiming at the correct spot. She didn't have to announce that I would have hit her pendant. However, she starts wiggling in the bindings and I don't have time to spare. I don't have the strength to hold her and she kicks off the wires. You're not gonna catch me. She gleefully leaps upright but tumbles to the ground again. Ayu had circled back and is biting the enemy's tail with all her might, holding her briefly in place. Now's my chance. No! Beans. Yes. Only one left to go. Where is he though? Did Ayu give him the slip? But now it's 2 versus 1. I have just a plan to take him down. Ayu, behind you! I wince as he pounces straight for Ayu. Thankfully, Ayu dodges him. No time to waste. I yank at another tripwire, but the knot is tight. Said, help! I glance over. Ayu's tail is pinned by the other dog. She struggles in vain, but only succeeds in yanking on her own tail. I don't have time. I stay put, ignoring Ayu's yelps. God, I just need this tripwire to come free. After a couple more moments, I untie the knot. He was too beans for this world. I run towards the dog just as he takes a fatal swipe at Ayu. She locks eyes with me as she dissolves. There is so much pain in her expression. It is the face of realizing that I didn't come back for her on purpose. It's too late for her, and it's too late for me to have any regrets. And with that, I trip up the other dog and wrap the wire around his legs. Meow. I mean, at least you all got this. I think it hurts, but he's got the same score. Present day. AR Arena. We're redoing it. We're running it back. No. I knew I shouldn't have wandered down a deserted alley, even if it was a shortcut to the MRT station. The island denizens are so unkind to me, one of your own. Will I be able to survive this AR Arena again? I feel ashamed to face IU. I don't go by the beach house. Like the re-challenge of AR Arena 9, I bide my time. What I observed from High Finn's re-challenge is that the dogs, other than me and her, only act like how they would in the past, unless told otherwise. I know that ahead of IU, but I'm sure she could also figure that out. High Finn figured it out quickly, since it was obvious that the fawn shoe in the re-challenge couldn't be the real one. My strategy this time is to wait for IU to appear, since she would be the only other actor I should care about. So I've been mostly following the coastline, avoiding the mainland. Pretty passive of me, but hey, not bothering with the NPCs happened to work out in High Finn's re-challenge. Thing is, what to do once IU and I find each other? I'll slay her with my lightning-fast reflexes. That's just wishful thinking. The best bet is to find her before she finds me, and keep her from noticing me until I eliminate her somehow. Blah! She's always been the one with the sharp reflexes. But I'm also more mature and wiser now. I've seen enemies much smarter and more agile as I experience more arenas. If I could go head to head against those Shiba Inus and win, I can go against IU. But this is punished IU. Oh dog, but I'm so out of practice. I argue on and on with myself. The strength and stability of mind that came with being a regular A Arena contestant had all but left me, and I have to be coaxed into a calm state. Present day, day 5. Bro ain't beating the monster charge of I'll simply kill her while smiling at the camera. It really feels like A Arena 9 should have been the last one. Several days past, like this person's just kind of upset that you got 3rd place instead of 1st, even though 1st through 5th all get the same amount of points, because your friend was trying to get a wire for their plan, but it was tied up, and they chose the plan instead of immediately saving you. Like, yeah, that hurts, but also you should just, like, discuss that in real life, like, at grown-ups. Several days pass without progress. What if IU's also waiting for me to come to her? I wonder if there's a time limit for the re-challenges. We could both agree not to end the A Arena and spend the eternity doing separate things. Theoretically, I could write several books in here if given enough time, but I'd rather speed up the process. There are other things to be done, and I need to return to Max and Kuei Li. I guess I should make more effort. Time to venture further inland. With that decided, I head into the Palm Forest. Quick water break. Sometime later. The brief summer sun bakes on my fur, the sparse palms not offering much in terms of shade. It's also hard to top the first case, where she was betrayed by her love interest and someone died for real. This is just like you kind of hurt your friend's feelings a little. The bright summer sun bakes on my fur and sparse palms not offering much in terms of shade. It's much hotter, only now I realize that the water by the beach kept the area cool. I think about the beach house. It was one of my favorite safe houses out of all the arenas I've been through. Perhaps it was also the fact that I freely trusted another dog at the time that made the beach house a good memory. I got more jaded each subsequent arena. There are times where I think back and ask myself, what would I change if I get the chance to? I never answered myself the same way. One day I would think, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Another day, in another mindset, I would think that my actions were perfectly justified. There was no resounding consensus. What I do know is that I still feel shame and guilt about my past in the A arenas. But, because of the results I got from the behavior coveted by others, it was easy to trick myself that everything was but a necessary sacrifice. From the corner of my eye, I glimpsed a blur of movement. It's IU. This can't be good. I wasn't prepared. I need to buy some time. I run back onto the beach. Maybe this was a bad idea with the rocks and Shan. As I slow down, Ayu's catching up with me. I throw myself sideways to avoid her lunge. I quickly turn to face her so I'm not caught off guard again from the side. Our eyes meet and it pains me to hold her gaze. Ayu doesn't make another move, nor does she speak. Not wasting the moment of peace, I back away several steps, all the time beadily watching her. I'm tempted to say something snarky, but considering the circumstances, I don't think she would appreciate that. If anything, she deserves to say the first snarky comment to me. So, hello? That sounded so bad. Look, I'm not gonna fight ya. Ayu sits down, her posture open and relaxed. There must be a catch though, right? I just want to talk. Well, what do you want to talk about? I just want to say, you're a horrible dog. You re-challenged me just to say that? But you're right, it is true. Can't you even pretend to understand? For one moment. Dogs don't always do something with some high and mighty reason, Sid. I'll bet that you can't even name, I'll bet that even you can't name a reason for every single thing you do. Actually, I consider it a main scheme of things. I don't think that's what she wants to hear, though. No, you're right about that. At least, you can admit to that. Listen, I know we were really, really young when this whole thing happened. But when I got the IM that we'd be able to challenge you one-on-one, I immediately wanted in. You wanna know why? Her tone is gruff, and I get the feeling she's not quite getting to the point yet. You wanted to prove how you've changed since then. Well, yes and no. I still haven't forgotten about what happened during that AR arena. Yes, that much I can tell. Show his revenge what you want. Huh! When you put it like that. But I wouldn't say that. I just want to understand. Even though I'm not sure if it's possible. What is it you want to understand? I still haven't made peace with the AR arenas. It's not about you in particular. I was hoping that someone that coming into an AR arena once again, after my ranking had been finalized, could, I guess, shed some light, looking at it retroactively. I've realized that even though I went through the motions of the AR arenas, and even didn't end up doing too badly, I still felt so lost. Don't know what any of this means to me. This AR arena was the last time I remember feeling something for myself. It's not because of you. It's mostly that I was still young, and my understanding of the world was so certain, so optimistic. When they mentioned the re-challenge, I wondered if somehow I could find that feeling again. I have no idea how to respond here, but I've got to be smooth. Gotta smooth it. Not to mention, it's pretty jarring. We haven't spoken in years, yet she's pouring her heart out all of a sudden. What have you found so far by being back in the AR arena? So far, nothing. You see, my plan was to come to terms with what happened between us. But that couldn't happen until you and I met again, no? Oh yeah, that makes sense. This is so awkward. Like, did you want to talk more about it? Are you suggesting that we talk more about it? Yeah, if you want to. To be honest, I hadn't thought about that. My plan was... A force slams into me from behind, winning me. The attacker and I fall into the water. I reel under the pain. The plan was for me to die while she watches. I get it. To prove that I needed her. I feel paws scuffling and grabbing me, inching around my neck. My mind barely pieces together the fact that this is the same dog that dived on top of me. I struggle and kick the water, twisting my torso. There's a splash and another dog dives in the water from above. This one misses me by some distance though, since it failed to knock into me with a dive like the first dog did. It was the pair of dogs that had ambushed me in the AR arena in the past. Ayu, did she... Yeah, no, you know the pendant. Get him immediately. Fish sticks, if you're like Bashish, that means... Expecting the attack and the dog trying to wrap his paws around me, I twist away. Still underwater, I grab his shoulder and pull him towards me. I remember where his pendant is located from the past AR arena. With my other paw, I punch him squarely where his pendant is. Without my other paw pulling, I wouldn't have the strength to break the pendant by swipe underwater. I only learned that in AR arenas after this one. The pendant doesn't break. Oh! Even applying the experience I learned in AR arenas, I still don't have the physical strength to eliminate him underwater. In my zealousness to eliminate this dog, I'm poorly prepared for the second dog. She got close to me while I was occupied from her teammate. Now she latches onto me from behind, feeling up my torso for my pendant. Good move, but you're gonna die. Oh! Ayu lands in front of me, white bubbles partially obscuring my vision. Oh no, this isn't good. Gah! Ayu had made a move, good move. Now I'm totally outnumbered. With a powerful paddle, she charges towards me. Much as I want to continue my aggressive retaliation, I should get myself out of here before it's too late. Once I'm on land, I'll have a better chance against them. I twist my torso and kick, putting distance between me and both opponents so they shield me from Ayu. Ayu knocks into the two of them and I see them wrestling, air bubbles erupting from their mouths and noses. With that, I make my escape. With that distraction, I'm able to put some distance between me and the competing dogs. Kicking and pawing my way to the surface, I paddle as quickly as I can towards the shore. I've got to make it out of here alive. Leaky Relu, gotta have a sticky situation in the water. Once on shore, I don't even bother shaking myself dry. My claws tear into the sand and I push my legs to the limit as I dash towards what I know to be the base of the remaining A Arena competitors. The second duo, Ayu and I had called them, the Akita Inus. Entering the sparse palm forest, I couldn't afford to slow down. Twisting and turning my way around the palm trunks, I almost slipped several times with my velocity. We must be close now. I slow down to a trot and try to conceal myself so I won't be caught off guard if the two Akitas catch me first. Oh! Which happens? There they are. So either Ayu or the other, or both, should be on my tracks. The difficult part comes with not knowing where Ayu is now. I need to time this precisely or I'll be the one in trouble. I scoop up a rock from the ground and wait in my paw. I'll throw it to the right of me. Like clockwork, they are guaranteed to hear it and think it is a dog. They will know exactly where the rock hit and thus go patrolling, almost as if programmed to behave that way. Throwing rocks will be the distraction. I snap out of my daydreaming. I really played too much of the Tomb Digger games. Sadly, that's not how things work in real life. Though, since A Arenas are in real reality, does that mean they're a video game in a sense? Stop the shit dodge. Focus. I've got to distract them, but not with a rock. With that very loud distraction, I wait a few brief moments to see if the two Akitas have sprung up and are looking around at my general distraction. I don't even know. They didn't even say what she did to cause the loud distraction. I quickly move towards the beach before they get close enough to spot me. Hopefully I'll run into Ayu or the other dog at any time now. I listen carefully as I walk. I'm definitely being tailed, though I'm not sure if they have a visual on me. The ground I covered so quickly while sprinting seems so vast it'll walk. I would have run, but being quiet is your priority. If the two Akitas are provoked, I could not outrun them. Hurry, Ayu, take my bait. There. Ayu's in the distance, looking at the ground. Following my footprints, perhaps? I remember telling her a story of our ancestors having a keen chincha smell. Truly, Sid, OP, please nerf. I'd be toast if technology hadn't come and caused our devolution. Anyhow, time to cause another distraction. By this time, the Akitas had seen me, but they were tailing me discreetly, perhaps deciding to observe me first. Maybe I just don't look fun to them. I have an idea. This should get them going. I stop and look up and down slowly as if looking for something. Then I look back at them and make eye contact for the first time. I yelp and flatten my body. The switch is instant, like a ball being tossed. Which is a funny idiom from our ancestors' instincts. Like a ball being tossed, the two immediately enter hunting mode, growling and taking off towards me. I dash forward, yapping in faint hysteria. I am in clear view of Ayu now, and I throw myself at her. The two Akitas have closed in on us in no time as I wrestle and pin Ayu on her back. Ayu squirms and twists, but I have the upper paw. Then, instead of figuring out her pin location, I run off, leaving her to the two opponents. Oh, okay. Light shines on my clothes. It's just that easy. I really thought the solution was gonna be like we have to go back and work with her to defeat the big ones, but nah, just fucking get baited, idiot. Just die again, dude. This time you're not even top 5. This time you got 6th place, or worse. Despite the brightness, I don't feel like opening my eyes. They just feel too heavy. I don't have the strength to open them. I left Ayu to the dogs again. Prod, leave me alone. Physical sensation slowly returns, as if my brain is lazily connecting my limbs back to my nervous system. Poke, poke. The pokes, which increase in intensity, speed up their process, albeit unpleasantly. I'm laying on my right side. I almost wish I hadn't woken up, because I am drenched in chilling sweat. Sid, I know you're awake. Feel a firm shake on my shoulder. Okay, I'm waking up. Ayu looms over me. The first thing I notice is her ragged and exhausted appearance. I want to make a quip, but I probably looked ashamed, if not worse. Hey, my voice is a croak, but I am unable to muster anything louder. Phew, just checking that you're alive. I'm not so cold-hearted to leave you in the street. You know what? You deserve the win. I should have known you to pull that bait-and-switch strategy again with those Akitas. I don't have the energy to respond, but she looks at me intently. She knows I'm listening. I was watching from the rocks. You've changed somewhat. I wasn't expecting you to just run. Oops. The said I know was ruthless to the core. Would never have done that. So there might be hope for you after all. She gives me one more poke on the shoulder, more like a kick than anything, though. By the way, she turns away and raises a paw in farewell. I forgive you. I wasn't asking you to forgive me. I was asking you to understand. With that, she makes her exit. I knew I shouldn't have wandered off looking for a shortcut. Whatever the Tap Clan is, I hope they don't cause you any more trouble. If I use one of their bosses and she has no more quarrel with me, they shouldn't leave me alone. I watch her head out of the alleyway, her footsteps heavy, her shadow stretched with the light. Then she's gone. I lie there, my eyes not really focusing on anything. I feel left for dead. I whisper, but there's no one to respond. It's a while before I'm finally able to gather the strength to stagger upright. The world teeters. Alright, Shid. Time to go home. And I think that's probably a good and based place to leave off this stream, which I now know is broken. It will be broken up into parts. Whoever said this game was like 4 hours was definitely lying. Whoa. We will return to Summer with the Shiba Inu. More Sheebs are coming. Summer of Reading is dead, but these Shiba Inus are not, except for Fan Shu. Thank you for coming to Super Pog Shiba Adventure, and I will see you all next time.